we said that she's gonna do this, and she literally does.
She just sabotage herself every season, just like what Whitley say? Relax, relate, release. Relax, relate, release, girl. Sit down and let the game play around you. You do not have to go and talk to everybody. Hey guys, and welcome back to our channel. We are back with a new video, a new season. Okay, this is the first and second episode of the challenge world championship. This is our review of the first and second episode. So yeah, let's get into it.
All right, so we are back. Like you said, we are back for the new season. This is the battle of to be the champion of the champions. We start off, we get all our global MVPs coming in. So the global MVPs consist of players from the Challenge USA, the Challenge Australia, the Challenge Argentina, and the Challenge UK. Surprisingly, they had Challenge Argentina because they held on to that one to the last minute. So we finally know who our Argentinian players are. So basically, we start off this episode. TJ and all the other hosts let us know that they are competing for half a meal and all the other respective currencies. Basically, that they are going to have to be playing a qualifying challenge while the legends essentially get are sitting back and watch. So a lot of the players, sorry, what you was gonna say?
I was about to say, I like the format of this first episode because I think it gave a good amount of spotlight to these, like to the new people, and it wasn't about the legends and their interference and anything. It was about like get these new people. They get to have their shot to show who they are, and the legends watch and whatever. So I really like that because some of the people, specifically the Argentinian people, I hadn't seen before. So I was, it gave a spotlight to them. And I think if the legends were really, really included in this first episode for real, it wouldn't have gave everybody a chance to like be like who they are. So yeah, I thought it was good. I thought it was good, especially once we get later down at the end, they get to do like a whole vote and elimination without the legends.
Yeah.
So we can see what has, I really like that. I like how they did this first episode.
TJ basically lets them know that the qualifier is basically has multiple checkpoints to test their strength, stamina, agility, and their intellect. And basically that the last two players would go straight into elimination. So we get there. TJ was like, I know you guys hungry. The first checkpoint is a eating challenge. They did state that this was vegan, so I guess they are starting to like pit vegan options into the game. So basically the players have to chug 2 large glasses of an unidentified but vegan smoothie, and literally the projectile vomiting starts, and I'm just like,
it started immediately.
I think it was Ben. Literally was just,
yeah, that was a lot.
Even TJ and Brian, I think their name is. I'm not sure what the Aussie hosts, but they literally TJ never turned around from either show, but he literally turned around and was just like,
the legends got to see how the MVPs like stack up against each other because they weren't participating.
Yeah, like we said, the legends are basically just sitting back and assessing the MVPs, which is, I think, is better than what they did for Double Agents with just giving them a file folder and like, y'all got to pick y'all partners by saving them type of thing. So now they really get to assess and really gave them time to really look at their partners. But so eventually Ben is the first one to finish, and he raced off to checkpoint number 2. And there they have to use a sledgehammer to move a weighted tire down a runway. And the first one to get across their line or touch the line essentially will be able to go to checkpoint 3 or whatever the case may be. So this is where we start to see a lot of the people are completed. We see Australia's players, or the champion Troy and then Grant, are basically the next ones to finish. And then we see that.
Speaking of Grant, he gonna say, we're here, and these so-called legends. And I was like, so-called. It's a
Do you not
fact.
see a 7-time champion over there?
But he's like, but I'm gonna prove that I'm this. Which, okay, yeah, you can prove, but so-called implies that it's not a fact. There are people who have won this game before, and you have not won your season. So how are you gonna call them so-called? I was like, okay.
He didn't even make it to the final in his season, so it's like,
yes, I was like,
finalist.
That's a bold statement. Talking some so-called legends. I was like, okay, now, okay.
On the female side, Kaz is the first woman to finish, and then so is Zara. So UK is really looking strong. So it pretty much kind of stayed the same. The same people were kind of in the forefront. Ben was the first one to finish his tires. Grant was right behind him. They get to checkpoint 3. This is where they have to basically they get cylinders, and they have to roll it down the track, so they cannot touch the ground, and basically get across the finish line without touching the ground but staying on the cylinder. And we see Ben struggle with this. Grant kind of already had a flow. Troy, he was in his element. He was like, this is the Ninja Warrior stuff.
Yeah, he was like rolling it while he's going it.
Yeah, he was scooting down that pathway. So, I mean, this first couple of checkpoints were all pretty interesting. Like I said, for the most part, everybody kind of finished around the same time, or kind of like stayed in the same placements. So we're just gonna kind of gloss over all that. The next checkpoint was basically they have to get the weighted objects from. They had to arrange objects based off lightest to heaviest, and then that will reveal a code that they will have to replicate on another board. And yeah, so like I said, pretty much same placement. Troy and Grant was the first. Ben was like a third at that point. Sarah was like the first. So it was kind of, the female had a little bit more up and down, but for the most part, the same females kind of placed. And then in the last checkpoint is what really divided everybody for the most part. Excuse me. Basically, they had to move their team flag, not team flag, but their country's flag, and then plant it into a rising or standing position. Grant finishes first place for the men. Ben again second. Nathan surprisingly got third. I was surprised by Nathan's performance. And then for the women, Zara finishes first. I was surprised by how, because again, when you look at her stature, you wouldn't think that she had all that strength. Definitely when Sarah was struggling.
Yeah.
So
good. I did not expect that. But mostly because I didn't see Argentina's season.
okay.
So I didn't. No, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. You're sorry. You're right. I'm confused. But no, I didn't know much about Zara. So coming in, I was like, I didn't really think about it. But she was like, she showed us who she was really, because she was top dog on this qualifier. So yeah, Zara is showing up for
Team UK.
like showing up right now. Yeah.
It got timed out, I think, for the most part. And then Tristan and Claudia, who is UK and Argentina, they didn't finish and learned they're going straight into elimination.
Yeah.
Then we get a little bit of Theo talking about Cass's ex and how they dated and how they don't know how they would navigate in the game. Theo says that they can play nice. He's cool with that. But if you want to, play on the opposite end of the enemies, he's also fine with that. So he's like, it's whatever to me. So I'm glad my boy Theo is back.
Yeah, I'm so glad Theo's back.
Yeah. So there's also some baggage from Australia that comes into this game where Emily is a little bitter Betty. She's mad that Kiki beat her and that Kiki still beat her. So she kind of has this. Now that I think about it, that kind of makes sense of what happened later on because it couldn't be me. So yeah, so she was a little bit bitter about that. Um, yeah, and then that was pretty much it. And then everybody get into the house. They make the official toast. Theo made a little joke and was like, "Hey, if y'all pop the champagne, make sure you
Keep
pop
it
it
away.
up."
Yeah, keep it away from him.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and then so we learned that Theo is now partially blind, but I still think he's gonna be a beast because even next episode we'll get into it. He was the first, one of the first ones. Um, but yeah, so we see all the players kind of conversating, learning about each other. Some of these vets are getting into the, I don't want to call them rookies, MVPs. Uh, Ears, letting them know this is how you play the game. This is kind of what you got to do. Some of the MVPs, I keep want to call them rookies. Some of the MVPs are already colluding.
They're
We
trying to
see,
kind of make alliances now, like side
yeah,
alliances. We see Kaz is
Nathan.
mentioning, yeah, well, Nathan as well, but like Kaz is mentioning to some people that, am I thinking about okay, I know who I'm thinking about. Yeah, so Kaz was mentioning that maybe they should, just at this point just target Argentina. And but because Argentina, they just seem more like happy go, like, like they are happy to be there.
Yeah,
They're very friendly, but a lot of people in the house, like Justine mentioned, she feel like she doesn't think they know what they got themselves into. So I think that makes people think they're an easy target. And so they're trying to target them. And then they already have one person that's already in the elimination as well. And so Kaz and Nathan, those are a few people that was like maybe they should join up. Kaz was talking about, I think, US and UK joining up. And Nathan was talking about UK and Australia joining
yeah.
up.
So
So
Nathan, Troy, and Grant, or maybe it was Tristan. It was Tristan. Basically, they was like, let's keep Australia UK alliance, and then like you said, they would basically get Argentina to knock themselves out, and then Sarah on the other hand was trying to form a US Australia alliance with Emily, because she feels like that is her biggest competition. And on the other hand, Emily feels like she can trust Sarah, which is okay.
I mean,
But
I think they could trust each other. I think that talk or whenever it happened at a good time.
yeah,
For what came later, happened at an opportune time, the best time for US especially.
yeah. I think based off what we've been seeing, I think US is going to be playing the dirty politics. I feel like because all the players essentially are US, so it's like they got the numbers already off bat. So everybody else has kind of got to like mold to them. Even like like in Australia, UK alliance would be good, but again, because a lot of the US players are mixed with them, it's like you really can't stick to your own country because you got to go off what the legend will tend to dominate the pair, if that makes sense. Like because they know the game, so they will take the driver's seat. I don't think a lot of these global MVPs want to kind of stir the boat, if that makes sense. They want the legends to play the legends game type of thing.
But I mean, I
I mean,
understand,
you got some of them
but
that
I think
got
that
their own motives.
it's equal people that are not legends in this house. So it's even. So I think they should. I mean, they should be able to speak up more. I think because they're legends, it automatically be like, oh, I'm gonna let him take the wheel. But no, like
Yeah,
him or her, I'm gonna let him or her take the wheel. But you should be able to say it too, because half of the people are MVPs, just
yeah,
like you. So they know just as much as you do. So I
yeah.
don't know. I don't know. I think if you start doing that now, that's how
All the rookies got
Rookies.
kicked out.
That's how rookies get kicked out because letting legends decide. Legends gonna pick themselves every time. So you need to come out with some answers and some questions. You know what I mean? And so, and it's not like these are like, okay, rookies from different places don't know each other. These are MVP people that
played the
know
game
each
together.
other.
Yeah.
They have played before. So these legends know each other. They got alliances. You do too. So it's no reason that you should be okay with voting your friends just because the legends say so. Because they got friends too and they ain't voting them in. So I hope they do not play it like regular rookies this season because these are not regular rookies. They know each other. They have played before. So come on now.
Yeah. So we get to nominations, and basically TJ explains that the global MVPs are the only ones competing, so they will deal with the elimination by themselves. Basically, the two winners won't be an elimination because they already won, and then the rest of the players would have to decide who to nominate, and then the winning pair would choose between the two selections who would officially go against the losing team, which is Claudia and Tristan. So we find out that Nathan has been medically separated from the game. So Tristan is saved. For me, I was like, okay, because you're on my draft team, so I need you in the game. So
originally, when they explained the rules of the voting and everything, I was like, this is too much. Like, you know what I mean? Like too many different components. Like literally, I would just like a what is it? A double agents? No, I don't know what it is. I would just like it to be a vote.
Yeah.
Whoever we vote go in. Very simple. But they doing they doing extra.
I feel like they try to this time around the deliberation is deliberating. This is when I like them to do I like when they do everybody in a group setting decide who to win, and then everybody see who's getting voted for.
Okay, so you like it when they see it.
I don't need y'all to
I like it. I like it when they go to separate rooms
no,
and then nobody know.
You want to vote me in? Stand by it. Stand by it.
Okay.
And they decide to throw some names out, and everybody instantly go for Argentina. I think her name is. Her real name is Sophia Jimenez. But yeah, they was like, and instantly, Benha was like, nope, y'all not about to do that. Y'all not about to pit Argentina against Argentina now.
Yeah, because it was the way. So love Cass. I love Cass. I do. But the way she was explaining, she was like, somebody has to go in. Yeah. I agree. Why does it have to be my people? Like it was just I
don't know why he was so bluntly was just like, yeah, so I just feel like Argentina should go against Argentina. Like,
like what?
Why would you say that out loud? Like, why would you think Argentina will let you do that?
He was like, so you want Argentina to eliminate themselves? And she's basically kind of like, yeah.
Again, the way they do it, they are doing Argentina dirty. Like,
but
they are doing Argentina dirty.
So I understand, like the plan. That is a plan to do that, but to say it like that, justification.
Yeah, that's something you say to everybody else outside of the nominations. Y'all playing that before y'all go in, and then just kind of blindside them, type of thing. If you're gonna do that, you don't tell Argentina, let's just get rid of y'all right now, and then we love you. Sorry. Like, no.
So everybody's gonna have to do it at one point. So why would the first point be me? Maybe you should be the first point. So yeah, that was a little interesting. But then the Sarah and Emily had already worked up a plan with their people, so that comes out.
So basically, everybody starts to vote for Kaz and Kiki, who are both champions of their season, and was like, Sarah explains that their goal behind this was to force a stalemate to learn exactly what would happen in the stalemate. And I was like, what?
I like that. I think that's smart. Why wait till later on when it really, as a U.S.
Why waste it? Look exactly what happened. What happened was so we later find out that Emily knew that Kiki or Emily was behind the whole point of Kiki going in
Yeah.
because she was supposed to be a pawn and a placeholder, and then you see the plan backfired.
It
That's why you
backfired,
don't.
yeah, but we gotta like we don't got to, but if we wanted to figure out what the stalemate would be, let's do it early so we can play the rest of the game knowing what's the what. And for Sarah and the rest of the US people, this is the best time to do it when it don't affect us at all.
Yeah, so Team Argentina follows suit, and basically they all vote for Kaz and Kiki, who ultimately get nominated. And then Grant and Zara immediately disagree, and they was like, "Nope, we're not doing it. We refuse to vote for our teammate or country mates." And basically, everybody starts to, basically politic and gossip about what is going on while they're still trying to, in the background, they're still trying to figure out who they're going to play with.
Grant wants Kiki to vote her person. No, sorry. Grant won't vote for Kiki, and
Zara won't vote for
Zara won't vote for Cass. So Zara's like, Grant gonna have to figure it out because it ain't happening. And same with Grant. And I understand that. Stick by. I mean,
yeah.
they don't.
But my thing is like once we learned that Emily was behind, or not even behind, but that she knew the whole time what was going on. I'm like, where's your loyalty? Like, why would you even offer up one of your players?
I understand, yes, but to her, she's like, Kiki not going nowhere.
But she's you don't know that they literally like.
But she thought it was a sure thing. She's like, Kiki is not going anywhere. If it's because they thought of all the scenarios that have ever happened. Yeah. This particular one has never happened. So she's like, if what's name get to pick, she ain't gonna pick Kiki. She's gonna pick Cass. If it don't work out and they have to go in, then Zara going in. There has never been an instance where
happened. They didn't know for sure that Cass was gonna not pick. Claudia was not gonna pick Kiki.
They did know. She had already talked. Well, I think they must have already talked to her that she would pick. Yeah, they said she would pick Cass because they were similar body builds. That's what they said.
Never know. People can always switch their mind. That's what I'm saying. It's not, people say a lot of things.
It was more of a sure thing for her. She didn't feel like Kiki had a shot of going in because from previous challenges, we have never seen TJ say, the person up there gets the pick. Like that has never happened because what? And so I understand why she would do that. I don't know if I would do that, but I'm just saying.
But also because Tristan wasn't playing, that whole stalemate might not happen in the future.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to be a male-female elimination. It's going to be both. So again, that's why I said it doesn't make sense for them to try to do that early on because y'all know y'all going to be in partners, and y'all know it's not going to be a male, female, or like y'all know it's going to be partners versus partners. It's not like this is a female elimination day.
This is a random occurrence because
that's why that's why I wouldn't have did that because we're playing in pairs. Like it doesn't make sense for me to like try to figure out a stalemate when to get to the elimination. It's still called the arena this season for like the last 15 seasons. Zara votes Kiki, Grant votes Cass. It results in a tie. Zara, Wes made the point that Zara basically was like, she was ready. She was like, either way it goes, I'm not scared. Like, so TJ reveals basically that since it's a female elimination, Zara's vote is the tiebreaker. So again, they're playing backfires, and Kiki is the one competing against Claudia. Emily is shocked because again, you threw your teammate in, your country mate, because you thought it like that's the thing with the challenge. Like we learned, if y'all were super fans, y'all saw what happened with Leroy when one person threw a bird vote. This is why you
haven't seen every challenge.
This is why you don't do stuff like this because you never know what'll happen. There's no guarantee. Like again, I would have went for a US player because it's already a lot of them, and then we can probably get rid of a US player at this point. Or again, have an Argentinian in there still, because again, it's 3 people to y'all, 16? Y'all still have the majority. Y'all didn't have to, like, y'all could have still did Argentina against Argentina. Well, you know what I'm
Nobody
saying.
from
So,
Argentina. They ain't messing with nobody. Leave them alone. It's only
but I'm
three.
just saying they had the numbers. They did like Argentina made a good point, but they didn't have to go with it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? At the end of the day, they had the numbers. So it was like y'all chose this. But yeah, so we learned that it's pole wrestle, and then they have to do 3 rounds. Basically, Kiki was really dominant throughout this performance. Claudia was giving her some go, but Kiki was pulling out the splits. She was
Claudia did good. I mean, she was giving it like they were going tit for tat, both doing equal, not equal, but they were
they
both
kept turning each
trying
other.
they're both trying their best when it first started. But that last, because it was like 3-2, 2-0, and
And that last one, Claudia just gave up.
Claudia gave it up. I was
She
like,
let it go.
she just let go. I was like, girl.
We end the episode with TJ announcing that they are about to pick partners based off how they placed in the previous challenge, and then we go into episode 2. Janae and Grant, Wes and Zara, Ben and KC, Jordan and Cass, Danny and Tori, Bananas and Justine, Benha and Jody, Darrell and Kiki, Naya and Rodrigo, Emily and Yes, Amber and Troy, Sarah and Theo, Kellyanne and Tristan, and Huhei and Nelson. I was a little disappointed in Jody, how she didn't want to partner with my guy,
Jody, I was like, girl.
I was like,
Jody, and I was like, I can't, Jody, a main season, in a long time, but Jody is not good at the social game, and it is clear why she is not a very social person. And I was like, girl, when you be like, people think they hide the expression and they not. Girl, she's looking at him like,
Benha literally was like, something told me to pick Jody, but she's not looking at me.
Jody like, literally with her eyes said, you better not pick me. And then we picked her. I mean, I wouldn't have picked her.
It was interesting seeing how some of these players picked, because I would have like nobody picked Tori right away. Naya got picked over Amber B.
Who?
Like, not saying nothing, Naya.
Oh yeah.
Like, not saying that's bad, but like Amber B is a proven champion again. I would have been pulling champions like.
Yeah, wait, Johnny got picked like
hurt.
4th or 5th. He was like 4th or 5th. And
Johnny
I don't know.
6.
I personally think I personally think a lot of the MVPs have not watched the challenge for real.
Yeah.
Like, I think they made us skim through, but I don't really believe
you can tell who watched.
Yeah, I don't think you can tell some people that have watched, because just when Kaz, was that Kaz that picked Jordan? Kaz picked Jordan. When she picked Jordan, I was like, yes, because I could tell you have seen the show.
Yeah. Even Justine was like, my top 2, Jordan, and I think she said Jordan and West was her top 2. So we get back into the house. Everybody goes to their different rooms. They start doing their partner talk, getting to know each other. We see Nelson and Huhei. They're talking about, she's trying to teach them a little Espanol. Backtrack. I was surprised. Wes started speaking Spanish. It was like, I know a little something. Let me finesse and finagle my way to these Argentinian hearts, because I need everybody to, protect me. I was like, okay, Wes, you better speak your Espanol. But yeah, so everybody's having their talks. It was funny to see Zara and Wes with the notebook. She was literally taking notes, talking about West school. Like, I was just like, y'all better, I guess. And then I don't know how I feel about how Bananas is brushing off my girl Justine, because he don't seem like he want to be her partner. Like, when she came to the room,
I don't think he really watched USA. I'm sorry, no, he did watch USA. He said he did, but I think I don't know why he was kind of being like that, but I think they're gonna.
He says it takes him a while to warm up to new people, but I'm like, Johnny, that's not your personality. Like, you're literally the life of the party type. Like, you're like, come on now.
Yeah, I don't know why he was doing that, but maybe just because, like rookie, I guess he would consider her a rookie, and but I believe she would prove herself. Just like, like I said, a lot of these people are new. So just like I'm like, Grant gonna have to prove he can keep up with Janae. I think I think he will. He said first challenge he did amazing. So I think he will prove that he can keep up with Johnny. But also I think Justine will show Johnny what she got too, because we love Justine.
Yeah. So we see Johnny and Casey have a conversation where basically Casey is like, you and Kellyanne are friends outside of the game. How do you think that's gonna be handled inside of this? And Johnny mentioned that she thinks Kellyanne have some resentment, and this kind of comes in later in the episode. I was like, ew. But she's like, she's upset.
You said ill what? What you say ill too? But I will say that if we are friends, actual friends, and someone who you do not know, Casey, comes up to you and is like, what do you think? The first thing you should not say is Kellyanne been acting funny to people you don't know. I was like, girl, not you giving other people thoughts about me that don't know me, and that ain't gonna think that about me.
I mean, but if the kettle
but
was
she
black.
she made a point to say, like, usually I would say whatever. Yeah. But you made a point to say that that's your friend outside of this game. I was like, is she?
So we get to the challenge, and this game is called Chain Game. Basically, the pairs will have to race up a sand dune, choosing a chains that correspond to a puzzle, and they have to pull a 700-pound chain over the puzzle area, and then they will have to use the chain to solve the puzzle. I was kind of confused how the structure worked, but I mean, once I saw it, I was like, okay, that kind of makes sense. But like the way the chains looked, I was like, do the lines need to like, because they had like colored lines, but I was like, these colored lines isn't. But anyway, and then he explained that the closer puzzle areas are more difficult, whereas the easier puzzles are further away. But because of the change, you have to decide: do you want to play it safe and go off of your memorization, or do you want to go off your endurance, essentially? Okay. And basically, the horns blows and they're off. And the first person in the front is my boy Theo, leading the charge.
He's long leg. He was like, Theo was amazing. I love Theo. I'm so glad he's back.
Yeah. So everybody gets to their chains. Grant and Johnny are the last ones there. They choose. Well, they're not. They don't choose. They are forced to get the hardest one, hardest puzzle. But ironically, they are the first ones to get to their puzzle. And again, like we said, that the closer in are the easier puzzle. So they were further away from everybody with their chain, and they dragged a 700-pound chain. So I was like, Johnny, you better do that thing. Yeah. And then they basically are the first ones to solve their puzzle, and they pretty much dominate.
Yeah, they really dominate that. But like she said, Johnny know these puzzles. She is amazing. That's why I want to see. I want puzzle people on the challenge. I want to see a challenge with Johnny, Devin, CT. I just want to see it. I just want to see it. To sum it up, that challenge really, Johnny and Grant won the challenge, right?
Yeah. And then everybody else started coming in. And then the last two teams are Kellyanne and Tristan, and then Nelson and Huhei. Tristan basically was like, Kellyanne was talking at him, but not to him, which was really defeating or not helping their communication. And then Nelson and Huhei was just kind of lost, and they just didn't know what they were doing. So Tristan and Kellyanne end up coming in second to last, but Nelson and Huhei are the last team, sending Nelson and Huhei directly into elimination.
Yeah.
So we get to nominations, and basically everybody was again like, throw the two pairs of Argentinians in the elimination and let they want to obliterate Argentina. Like, they want Argentina to be a non-factor in this season. Like,
I hope. I mean, let me not say I hope, because I love Nelson. So I don't want Nelson to go home. I don't. But I just hate when people have a sure thing in their head. They like, this was about to happen, and we just about to pick up all the Argentinians. So I don't want Nelson to go home, but I'm in a tough spot because I also don't want no Argentina to go home. Just because I just don't like for you to think that you know what's going to happen. But they also throw in as the option Kellyanne and Tristan, because again, Kellyanne done went around the house talking to people, and I think it made people annoyed, and she's just frantic.
So Kellyanne goes to Johnny and was like, "You're my friend. I wouldn't pick you, so don't pick me. And if you do, you need to let me know we're not friends right now, so I know how to play this game," type of thing.
Yeah, and I believe that Kellyanne would not pick Joe. Why am I messed up? John A. I was getting confused with somebody else. I believe that Kellyanne would not pick John A. I do think that. I think she is super loyal, but I think that the way you said it kind of made it seem like more like not threatening, but like it wasn't a good. She should have worded it different, and it was just like it was awkward. It was awkward.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I feel like Kellyanne dunked herself on a grave because this conversation doesn't look like it's going to go good based off the trailer or whatever the case may be.
I was reading faces when they was like, "Who's she gonna pick?" But overall, I do.
But yeah, I feel like if Kellyanne and Tristan do go in, it's because of Kellyanne. Like, read the room. Like, if you would have just had faith in John, it would just be like, don't pick me. Y'all go out and just have a good time. Like, I think it goes back to kind of like what happened with Jordan and Tori. It's like when you start to use your personal relationship to dictate how you play the game, that's when people is like, ew, that don't sit right with me. And then it's like, now I don't owe loyalty, because if you about to do this, why do I want you in the house? Like,
and I think I think sometimes it depends on what kind of friends we are outside the house. We'll just see what rationale happens to justify the end result, whatever it is.
I hope.
But that's how they end. We don't get to see the final result.
Yeah, not just yet. So we'll pick that up next week. But yeah, that's the way the episode ended. So let's get into our fantasy draft. So in first place, regardless of a medical DQ,
I still don't think it should count, but still in first place, yeah.
So we have Gigi with 133 points. Your points are coming from. So your points are coming from. Emily gave you a good chunk of points from the first episode with confessionals. Grant, because he's just winning, he's giving you all the comp points. And then everybody else is kind of just in the middle of the road for you. But yeah, Grant and Emily, they are confession and comp points for you right now. So that's what's carrying your team. So say thank you, Grant, because he was supposed to be on my team. In second place is me at 124 points. I still have all my players, hopefully. My points are coming from Ben gave me some comp points. I'm getting a lot of confessionals. All my players are pretty much the narrators of the season. And then Zara gave me some good comp points at the beginning of episode 1. And then in third place, currently with 118 points, we have Savon. He is getting all his points from, Danny mentioning Kiki. So one thing about Danny, he is going to always mention his wife. He's getting comp points from Kiki. And then this last episode 2, he kind of coasted. But you know how Savon is with his players. They coast. So
not they go. Not you talking about Savon players not here. Savon, don't take that when you come back.
Like I said in our cast assessment, the dynamics is very different because everybody is like they're tied to each other, but they don't have as many strings. And now that they're playing with the legends, their games got to be a little different because again, it's a lot of U.S. players, so it's kind of like they got to navigate, and So yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting. I'm excited.
Yeah, I
But we
am.
always say that at the beginning that we're excited, man.
And then it
Once,
be as long as they don't go on for
you know they're not. I think
7
they're
to
only
10
gonna have.
holidays. As
I think
long
they're
as
only gonna do like 10 episodes.
yeah, I don't need as much as they gave us right now. Don't need it. But yeah,
Yeah, they never give a main season energy. They give 10 episodes. This is what y'all get.
I'm okay. If 10 good episodes will be fine. We don't
Yeah.
need 22 episode seasons
Just don't
anymore.
be like you can't give us 5 episodes
Oh
because
yeah, no,
that.
not too short, not too long. You have to medium.
Yeah.
But yeah, but those are our thoughts and opinions on the first and second episode of the Challenge World Championship. Let us know what you think about the episodes. Please like and subscribe to our channel, turn on post notifications, and we will see you on our next video. Peace.